Hi, it's Kevin May, Editor-in-Chief of PhocusWire. So I'm joined here by Gianni Pisanello, you're the VP of NDC-X, the NDC-X program at Amadeus, which is a relatively new thing in terms of a department and a line of responsibility within Amadeus. So what's going on?
Okay. So at Amadeus, we've been doing NDC for a while. Okay?
Yeah.
So we were level 3 satisfied on the IT side 2-3 years ago. But what happened last year is that we thought that things were maturing, I would say, on the travel agency side, or from a distribution point of view. And we thought this was the right time to start thinking about industrialization of NDC to travel agencies. And in order to put all of the bits and pieces of NDC under Amadeus under one roof, we created what we call the NDC-X program. Okay. So it covers everything from NDC as an IT provider to everything we would deliver to a travel agency.
Okay. I mean, we've just been on the main stage having a conversation with other people about NDC, and the word industrialization came up a couple of times. So how do you define industrialization of NDC?
So for me, industrialization is where you can actually deliver at scale worldwide. Okay?
Right.
So this is when you're going to have enough volume of bookings that are going to make a difference to a big airline. Okay. So far, what we've seen is very small. It's been very experimental. It was more proof of concept type environment.
Right.
Here, what we're talking about is how do we get 300-400 million bookings on NDC? That's the kind of scale we're talking about.
Okay, so to use the term industrializations, if we're still at arable farming at the moment, really, aren't we? So to get to industrialization, how do we need to get there, and then what takes us to I don't know, science fiction or something like that, if those are the 3 stages? Yeah,
absolutely. So, the first bit, and I think it was mentioned on the panel, we need people to realize that change is coming and that there are some benefits of NDC and that everyone can that the pie can be broadened if NDC is implemented in the right way. That's the first step, and I think we've kind of reached that step. The next one is NDC today has been used in a very customized fashion. Okay, every different airline has been interpreting it in a slightly different way. Working with IATA, we think that now you're going to need a very strong standard, which the standard is today, from a version perspective, is stable enough for us to start using it in an industrial format. But you need 2 other things. You need to make sure that whatever you're implementing is done in a standard way, so a standard workflow. And not only that all the airlines are implementing all of the right services and features that are included. So one of the important ones is servicing. So for example, for a large TMC, if you've got a CEO who's traveling and he wants to change his flights 5 times, etc., all that is called servicing, and the TMC has to respond to those needs. Today, NDC, in the current implementations, doesn't really cover those use cases. Okay.
Right.
And so if we have those 3 elements, then we'll have what travel agencies need in order to do the job that they're doing today. Okay. And that you need airlines to be able to provide the right APIs for that to happen in the first place. Okay. So we're getting there.
Go on.
On the technology side. But it's true from an airline perspective, there's lots of other things that you need to do. Because NDC, again, is just a protocol, right? It's just a way to send information. What you need behind is a great marketing strategy. You need a merchandising platform that can actually create all of these kind of great new products that you're going to sell. You're probably going to need a dynamic pricing kind of engine. And most importantly, whatever you sell, you have to make sure you can deliver it at the end to the customer when they're on the plane. So really having systems that can actually run all the way through, from the sales all the way down to your departure control system, and enabling the steward to be able to serve the customer on the plane. That's going to be the key point, and that's probably the biggest effort that's required.
The dynamic pricing bit of this is probably the most interesting, isn't it? But it's also, is it the most technically challenging thing to do at the airlines end? I understand you guys can do it, that's great, you're the specialists, but the airline people still need to be able to do that from a revenue management perspective and an IT perspective. So they're a lot further down the line, back down the line than where presumably you would want them to be, right?
Yeah, I mean, if you look at some of the big airlines, I mean, they have the resources and the knowledge and the vision of where they want to go to. So, there are a lot of skills that are already there. We have the technology ready for them to use it, and I think here they're going to be refining, their know-how, their expertise as they try new products and new ways of selling. And I think dynamic pricing is going to be there's a lot of negatives that can be attached to dynamic pricing, in the sense that are you going to be discriminating customers and that kind of thing. You should look more the positive side. It's more about coming up with something which is more relevant to you at a time that you're booking. Okay, you're looking for a flight. So, for example, you're a family, you're going to fly. Of course, you need baggage hold on a holiday. Okay, why are you asking me whether I should have it? Give me something already that includes that offer. And dynamic pricing can help with that.
Okay, so how do we gauge the success or not of this? What are the success factors for what you do and where you see the airlines at the moment?
Yeah. I mean, for me, as I mentioned on the panel, the key success factor is if we have to deliver more value to the traveler, okay? And that means it's either much simpler for them to buy travel because we're providing them more relevant offers, or that the money that's been left on the table today, which is travelers not getting what they want and not buying it, is resolved. Yeah. So finally, the travelers say, I know I can finally find the products and services that I'm looking for, and I can purchase them in an easy way. And I think if we achieve that, happier customers, there'll be higher revenues for all the travel providers, be they hotel or airlines, etc., and us supporting them in doing that.
Now, one of the things that we kind of touched on the panel, which I asked Heike from Lufthansa, is that they claim they're making a huge investment in all this and financially, but a lot of airlines can't do that. Mm-hmm. So then, as a result, do you suddenly find yourself back again with a siloed type of distribution system because you've got the airlines who can make all these heavy investments in doing all this really cool stuff and those that can't?
Yeah, I think what's going to happen is there's going to be a maturity in the technology. Okay, so of course everything that
will get cheaper over time.
Exactly, yeah. Right. So you have the first ones that will lead, they're going to probably spend more than the others, but then there'll be off-the-shelf solutions that are going to come out, they're going to be standardized versions of it that we will be providing to our customers. So like everything, those smaller airlines are going to wait and see, because here we're still testing and experimenting what works and what doesn't. All of that hard work is going to be done by the large players on either side, large travel agencies, the large airlines, and then it can be replicated for the others.
Then tell me, when you're talking to an airline who, not Lufthansa, let's not identify a particular one, but an airline that's kind of interested in doing this, what kind of questions are you getting from them about what they should be doing, and two, how do they do it?
Yeah, a lot of the questions that are coming now, which is great, is about what do we need to do to get adoption on the travel agency side? What do travel agency need from us in order to make NDC work? Okay, and this is where we really start talking about, guys, you need to come up with a new content, new product. If you're just taking what was already existing in a GDS and just porting it to an NDC, that has no value to a travel agency. But if you're coming out with something pretty new, a new product that was not available in the GDS because we couldn't replicate it or some kind, that's the exciting stuff that they want to see. And the other thing is guys, make things standard. So all you big, large airline groups, don't try and go your own way on this, because it will never get adopted individually. If you have customized versions of NDC everywhere, right, it's going to be a mess.
Does that then put you at odds slightly with what Lufthansa's doing, because theirs is their own system, it's their strategy?
No, because again, they've been very strong about it's IATA NDC.
Right.
Okay.
So that's where the standard, the universality of it works.
Exactly.
Right.
So as long as they follow the IATA NDC standard and they implement it in a standard way, etc., it's going to be fine. And it's in everyone's interest for the standard to be in place everywhere, because innovation will only come through standardization, and that's not an oxymoron. If you can get the standardization, you get all the pipes laid out properly, the foundation, then you can spend all your money on the exciting, innovative features that you want to do. If we have to spend all of our money integrating customized integrations with each airline, we're going to spend all of our money on that and nothing on the innovation. So I think airlines, most airlines are bored with that.
There are people that say that once you get standardization, you don't get as much innovation, because there's set ways of doing things.
I'll use the equivalent of the internet. The internet is a standard way, there's a standard protocol. Yeah. But then you have Facebook, you have Airbnb, you have all these other providers. So the standard is the messaging and how you communicate and how you exchange things. Then the rest is all innovation on top.
Right, and lastly, Gianni, I mean, when all the NDC stuff was first talked about, now we're going back quite a few years now, we've moved on, haven't we? But a lot of the talk was around, we create a standard so that anyone, not just existing travel players, anyone can start buying into the pipe and using the pipe.
Yep.
That hasn't happened yet.
Yeah, I think we still have to deploy the NDC foundations, but once that's done,
So
it's going to be possible.
So who do you think would suddenly be interested because there is a pipe of everything?
I know Facebook could be interested, or mobile apps could be interested in it. So, for example, what we're doing in Amadeus is that once we have the NDC in place, we're going to be opening up the ecosystem to even people who are not travel agency, etc. They can use it in different ways. So, let's say airlines want to interact with your fitness app for whatever reason, and I don't know why.
Okay.
Maybe they can do things on travel in that way. So, I think there's going to be a lot of possibilities. We don't even know what's going to be possible.
Right.
And I equate this that we didn't know Airbnb was going to arrive when the internet arrived. We thought we were just going to be selling books and that's it. No, there's a whole bunch of things that happen after that, and I think we're in the same situation here with NDC.
Yeah, right.
But it is a journey. It's going to take some time for us to get there.
Okay, Gianni, thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you, Kevin.
Thank you.